Coast Sports Racing Association and the National Association of Professional Racing Leagues Incorporated for the private use of our audience. Any reproduction, rebroadcast, retransmission, or any other disseminations or the use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the Pacific Coast Sports Racing Association and the National Association of Professional Racing Leagues Incorporated is prohibited. On the PCS Array Sports and Gaming Channel from Learfield IMG College. Welcome to Triple P on the Blue Hedgehog TV. Now here's the voice of the PCS Array, Mr. Daniel Voiles.
Welcome to the Martinsville Hot Dogs Were So Interesting and So Delicious edition of Triple P. I'm Daniel Voiles here in our PCS Array studios, ready to take you all through the actions of the weekend's racing that was. And it will be a very exciting event here today as our PCS Race Studio is ready. And as I've just recently got my dinner tonight, as of this taping of our show, we're ready to find out what happened here today in the world of racing. It's time to recap. We have a great show for you guys here today as I'm taking off my hat because I want to have some room. So a couple of announcements before I get started. If you have not seen last week's Triple P episode, link will be in the top right-hand corner. And if you go on to enjoy today's episode, make sure you give it a like. Make sure you subscribe for more that way you do not miss the next episode of the show. I'm going to let Mr. Taylor and Cody know I am ready for you guys. So that way, we're excited for today's show. So while I'm waiting for the panelists, I'm going to go ahead and recap all of the racing as I'm going to look here on my agenda from Triple P. Tonight, we're going to recap Japan. We're going to rate the weekend, go over the global standings, look ahead to Misano and Valencia. Then we'll make our predictions, then recap Martinsville, rate the weekend, go over the LTR points, top stories, and our report if we have any, and we'll look at the Texas predictions and final thoughts. So let's talk about the Japanese Grand Prix as we start with the F1 series. The race was really interesting, to say the least. First incident, and the only incident of the race, Daniel Ricciardo and Alex Albon, as they were coming into the S's, were trying to give each other room, and of course, 3 wide does not work at Suzuka. Ricciardo didn't give Albon enough room. Albon clipped the right rear of Daniel Ricciardo's tire. They both went off, slammed into the tire wall. Both drivers were okay, but not what Williams were hoping for after their car suffered some pretty significant damage to their machines, and unfortunately, both were out of the race. That brought out a red flag to clean up the debris and get the cars off the track. They had the second start, which went a little bit better. The rest of the race was pretty much calm and collective. And at the end of the day, guess who? Max Verstappen ended up winning the race from the event. So your top 10 results for F1, Max Verstappen, the winner. Sergio Perez got second. Carlos Sainz Jr. third. Charles Leclerc fourth. Lando Norris fifth. Fernando Alonso sixth. The sixth place he should have gotten from Australia, but it is what it is. George Russell seventh. Oscar Piastri eighth. Lewis Hamilton ninth. And Yuki Tsunoda complete the top 10. 9 drivers finished on the lead lap. 3 drivers, as I said, didn't see the checker flag. They were Alexander Albon, Daniel Ricciardo, and Zhou Guanyu had a mechanical problem that was terminal, and he was the only driver besides the 2 I just documented that were out of the race. So tough break for them. Max Verstappen has extended his lead in the Drivers' Championship as we head to our next race in 2 weeks in Shanghai. And my thoughts on Japan, I thought it was a good race. I thought, we saw some very interesting strategies with the tires. Some people thought we were going to do like a 2-stop strategy, which is medium, medium, hard. Some went with a 1-stop strategy because, they all started, some of them started on the medium tire, but some of them ended up going to the hard during the red flag, which you can change your tires. So, and that's exactly what some of us did. I want to make sure I had my green cup in here, and I did. But some of them did, and it was a very good race. I will give it a 7.5. I thought it was a solid race. It was pretty self-explanatory. So yes. Taking a look at the global standings as we come into this weekend, which Cody actually does not have the standings. I will have the standings down in the description. As far as the global standings, they will be down in the description if you don't know who is where. As we preview our races coming up this weekend, we have for global, we actually have our first dose of international NASCAR coming up. As we got Misano, that will be Formula E. So this is a double points event. And should be interesting to see how Misano will do. I think this is I'm going to have to actually look and see if Misano Misano has been on the schedule before. If it's not, it's a double points event. Let me see. They did race here. I'm going to double check here. It's going to be actually a real circuit. So this will be the first time to be held, so we'll have double points on the line. So there you go. As far as that is concerned. Of course, we're at Misano World Circuit, as I just got an interruption. Hold on a second. I didn't need an interruption right in the middle of the recording session. Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Give me a second. Right when I'm in the middle of a recording, I will eat in a second with you all. I just need to get this done and out of the way. Anyway, sorry about the interruption. I will eat with them after I'm done taping this portion of the show. But anyway, should be a good race. Can't wait to see how these drivers will handle this tough circuit that is that is Italy. So it should be fun. So I believe it's double points. Since let me see here. They raced at Rome E-Prix. Yeah, this will be the first time they'll be racing at Misano, so this will be double points. All right. Time for my predictions for this weekend. Of course, for Formula E, as always, driver to win, stay away from dark horse. The only thing we don't know is who's replacing Maxi Gunter, who will be out for Misano, which we don't know if he'll be back in time for the Monaco Grand Prix, the last single event before everything else is double. So, yes. I'm going to start off with the driver to stay away from. Let's see. Pascal Wehrlein still leads the Drivers' Championship. Let's see here. Stay away from, for me, I'm going to say Sergio, as my stupid thing does not want to cooperate with me. There we go. I'm going to say Sergio Sette Camera is my stay away from. He finished 10th, so he is not too easy for stay away from. Hold on a second, Sean. I'm right in the middle of a show. My dark horse. If I can get to my dark horse here. My dark horse, I'm picking a driver who definitely needs a bounce back result. And that was not what I wanted, you darping found. I did not want you to take me to another driver here. Thank you. I'm going to say Stoffel Van Dorn will be my dark horse. And my driver to win, uh, let's see, we've had what? 5 different winners. I'm going to go Oliver Rowland and make it 6 for 6. So those are my picks. My drivers have already made their picks for Formula E. They're stay away from. They're taking Norman Nato. I will look at your DM. I will look at Sean's DM later. I'm right now in the middle of a show. Plus, I have already gotten interrupted by somebody knocking on my door because of, well, they want me to eat with a family. Well, here's the problem. I can't do that while I'm taping this portion of our show. So, yeah, they're going to take Oliver Rowland as their dark horse. So they're thinking Rowland's not going to win, but he's going to have a good result. And their winner is going to be Mitch Evans. To be fair with you, I'm not surprised. So, yes. All right, moving over to the International NASCAR as we're going to finally start this up. Let's see. We have the entry list I've sent to Cody. First off, let me check here. I've sent Cody and Taylor the entry list for the Valencia NASCAR Fest, the 25th anniversary, or anniversary, whatever the hell they call it. You can catch their deal on their YouTube channel. I will leave the link in the description. So yes. We're gonna do Euro NASCAR Pro and then Euro NASCAR 2 because that's how we're gonna separate the entry list as far as that's concerned. Yeah. So hold on. Yours truly. I will eat with you guys in a minute. I'm right in the middle of predictions and I need to get them done as soon as possible. All right. Stay away from, for me, I don't know any of these drivers, so I'm just going to take a, as we like to say, wing it. I'm going to take Tuffle Thomas as the driver to stay away from, as my keyboard's trying to be a derping hyena. I'm going to go Ryan Vargas as my dark horse. Of course, Ryan Vargas, who failed to qualify for Richmond, we'll discuss that in our USA NASCAR recapping. And I'm going to take Jack Davidson as my driver to win in this group. Now to Euro NASCAR 2. I'm going to have my driver share as I don't know what the flip this was doing. And my drivers, we're just going to share it so that way they can get their thingies taken care of. Stay away from for them, or stay away from for us. Wait, are they racing in both races? Toil, Thomas, Jack Davis. Yeah, they're racing in both races. I'm just going to change it up. Gil Linster is my stay away from. As I cannot spell, please make sure you spell correctly. Dark horse for me. Bentadelli Roberto, it will be my dark horse. And my winner, or should I say our winner, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Dubik Martin as my winner. So, all right. So our picks are done for me and all that. Now let's talk about Martinsville, as we're going to start with the Truck Series race that happened Friday night, the Long John Silver's 200. The race was very interesting. First incident of the race, Thad Moffitt got spun in turn number 3, which NASCAR on Fox never showed the damn replay. Stage 1 was won by Christian Eckes. Ty Majeski ended up second. Third was Lane Riggs. Fourth was Corey Heim, rounding out the top 5, Nick Sanchez. Sixth was Ben Rhodes. Seventh was Tyler Ankrum. Eighth was Jake Garcia. Ninth was Caden Honeycutt, and completing the top 10 was Chase Purdy. Then the 15 of Tanner Gray got into an incident with Matt Crafton, the 90 of Justin Carroll, and the 02 of Mason Massey in turn 2. Then, let's see, Lane Riggs got into an incident with the 91 of Jack Wood. He said Wood. Jack Wood. That was off turn number 2. Then the incident that ended stage 2 was Lane Riggs getting turned around by Daniel Dye, collected the 76 of Spencer Boyd, which ended stage 2. Christian Eckes ended up winning stage number 2. Second was Tyler Ankrum. Third, Chase Purdy. Tyler Majeski, fourth. Fifth was Caden Honeycutt. Sixth was Jake Garcia. 17, Thompson. Eighth was Bailey Curry. Ninth, Taylor Gray. And 10th was William Sawalich. So, yeah. Let's see. The 43 of Daniel Dye got into the 45 of Caden Honeycutt down the back straightaway. And then an incident that was caused by Caden Honeycutt, who was, by the way, asked to see the NASCAR officials in the big red truck, collected Dean Thompson and got the 9 caught up. That was Grant Enfinger, and the 99 of Ben Rhodes. Then the 45, Dean Thompson got collected with Grant Enfinger and Ben Rhodes. Caden Honeycutt got into the incident with Brett Holmes, and Justin Carroll. That's why Caden Honeycutt was called to the hauler, or the big red truck, as I like to call it. But Brett Holmes got into an incident with the 13 of Jake Garcia, the 32, the 33 of Lawless Allen, the 91 of Jack Wood, the 66 of Cam Waters, and also Daniel Dye. Tough break for them. Then Lane Riggs' incident not done, got into an incident with Garcia, Enfinger, the 41 this week of Bailey Curry, and the 66 Cam Waters. Waters was done. And then Enfinger got into an incident, this time with Matt Mills and Stuart Friesen off of turn number 2. That set up a overtime restart. And at the end of the day, Christian Eckes ended up getting his first win, or getting another win in the playoffs. So the top 10 results for the Truck Series race: Christian Eckes was your winner. Ty Majeski second. Chase Purdy third. Nick Sanchez fourth. Tyler Ankrum came home in fifth. Sixth was Taylor Gray. Roger Carruth seventh. CMA Smith eighth. Caden Honeycutt ninth. And Corey Heim completed the top 10. Moving to the Xfinity Series race, the Dude Wipes 250, as it was a Dash for Cash event. First incident of the race, Sammy Smith got into a 3-wide situation with the 6 of, who was in the 6, by the way? It was Garrett Smithley, and spun the 92 of Dexter Bean around. Dexter Bean kept it off the wall. The 6 had some damage, which was not what he needed. Then the 44 of Brendan Poole got into an incident with Haley Deegan, sent her down into the 91 of Kyle Weatherman. The rest of stage one was clean, was won by Eric Almirola. Second was Sheldon Creed. Third was Cole Custer. Fourth, Sam Mayer. Fifth was AJ Allmendinger. More on him later on. Sixth, Anthony Alfredo. Seventh was Ryan Sieg. Eighth was Austin Hill. Ninth, Jeb Burton. And 10th was Parker Retzlaff. But on the restart, we had the big one. Brandon Jones spun his tires. By the time everybody got going, it ended up costing a bunch of drivers involved. As Deegan got a piece of it, Eric Almirola, which will tell you he ended up going on to win the race, by the way. Austin Hill, the 91 of Kyle Weatherman, 42 of Leland Honeyman, 26 of Corey Heim, the 51 Jeremy Clements, the 92 Dexter Beam, as I've said, the 14 of Logan Bearden making his second start, the 5 of Anthony Alfredo, the 16 of AJ Allmendinger, the 28 of Kyle Sieg, the 31 of Parker Retzlaff, and of course, as I mentioned, Brandon Jones. That was a lot of drivers involved. That should have been a red flag, but NASCAR loves to waste laps as usual in the Xfinity Series. Not surprised there. Then Parker Kligerman spun coming off turn 2. The rest of stage 2 was clean, was won by Justin Allgaier. Eric Almirola got second. Third was Sammy Smith. Fourth, Carson Qualfell. Fifth, Cole Custer. Sixth, Sheldon Creed. Seventh was Brandon Jones. Eighth, Chandler Smith. Ninth was Jeb Burton. And 10th was Ryan Sieg. Then Haley Deegan got into the 6 of Garrett Smithley. Entering turn number 1. Before that, we had a debris caution on lap 171. Then the final caution, or actually, no. The next caution was Ryan Sieg losing control in turn number 1 and ended up wrecking. Brought out a late race restart. And then we had NASCAR overtime, and then actually, no. The last yellow, actually. Jeb Burton, Kyle Sieg got together, collected the 38 of Matt DiBenedetto, the 51 Jeremy Clements, and the 07 of Myatt Snyder, making his first start of the season. Brought out a NASCAR overtime finish, and then coming to the white flag, Riley Herbst, wheel hop going to turn 1, collected Brandon Jones and Ryan Ellis. The race ended under yellow. And Eric Almirola ended up winning the Xfinity race and the Dash for Cash. But since he's not running the entire full schedule, he is now eligible for the playoffs because of the fact he's missed too many races. So there you go. So since he's running for points and he's an Xfinity driver, even though he's running part-time. So the top 10 results for the Xfinity Series race. Eric Almirola is the winner. Sam Mayer second, Chandler Smith third, Carson Qualfell, nice top 5 for him in 4th. Justin Allgaier 5th, Sheldon Creed 6th, Sammy Smith 7th, Cole Custer 8th, Jesse Love 9th, and Josh Williams, a well-needed run after a struggling start to the year in his new ride, comes away with a top 10. So, yeah, not too bad. And the most honorable mention goes to SVG, who finished in P11. So, with that all taken care of, that means the 4 drivers in the Dash for Cash will be Chandler Smith, Sam Mayer, Justin Allgaier, and Sheldon Creed for this weekend's race at Texas. Then we go to the Cup Series race for the Cookout 400, which, spoiler alert, if you have not seen the reactions for that, I highly recommend you click the link in the top right-hand corner to avoid any spoilers and all that, yada, yada, yada. Sorry, I was having dinner, if y'all don't mind. I'm not telling you what I'm having. Nothing happened in stage number one. That was won by Kyle Larson. Second was Bubba Wallace. Third, Chase Elliott. Fourth was Chase Briscoe. Martin Truex Jr. Fifth. Sixth was Joey Logano. Seventh was Denny Hamlin. Eighth was William Byron. Ninth was Josh Berry. And 10th went to Kyle Busch. Only incident, we had a debris caution on lap number 114. Nothing really happened in stage number 2. Or actually, debris, which was a lug nut, actually came off of Christopher Bell's car, which was really weird because it looked like the lug nut came off the car, but the tire never even left the vehicle. So, like I said, I don't know how NASCAR is going to review that. But then again, as long as the wheel didn't come off the car, excuse me there, I apologize for belching. As long as the wheel didn't come off the car, I think Christopher Bell and his team are very lucky they didn't get a 2-race suspension. So, they got away with that one. So, but stage 2 was Common Clean. That was won by Denny Hamlin. Second was Bubba Wallace. Third, Kyle Larson. Fourth was Chase Elliott. Fifth, Joey Logano. Sixth, Alex Bowman. Seventh, Chase Briscoe. Eighth, Willie Beebe, William Byron. Ninth was Ross Chastain. And 10th was Josh Berry. Then it went from bad to worse for Christopher Bell. Got spun as our next incident. That happened on 204. And then, actually, no, that was the final caution, which set up a NASCAR overtime. And William Byron gets the win over his Hendrick teammate at 1, 2, 3 for Hendrick Motorsports, with Kyle Larson finishing second, Chase Elliott third, which brings us to our top 10 results for the Cup Series. Bubba Wallace fourth, Ryan Blaney fifth, Joey Logano sixth, Tyler Reddick seventh, Alex Bowman eighth, made all 4 Hendrick cars in the top 10. Ryan Preece and Chase Briscoe complete your top 10. So thoughts on Martinsville. I thought it was a very good race. I thought the racing was really intrigued. I was really was really pretty good racing, and it was typical Martinsville racing. So I didn't rate the races. Let's see. Trucks, I give it a 7. Xfinity, I'm going to go 7.2 for Xfinity. And then Cup, I'm going to just go with 7. Overall, I really wish that NASCAR would start listing instead of being like, well, I don't want to change this package and improve the racing and give teams horsepower. I don't know why you cannot give it a chance as far as the horsepower is concerned. Like it's like you're either scared of just adding horsepower to this Gen 7, or you just don't want to listen to the fans because your product just sucks on short tracks. That's just my honest opinion. And I don't even think 1,000 horsepower is going to do us any favors, because I can tell you, if you try to do 1,000 horsepower for this short track package, 9 times out of 10, we're going to see a lot more engine failures with teams pushing the engines so hard it just gets stressed out, and then kablamo, your engine blows up, and then your day is completely done. That's just my opinion about that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. Do you think NASCAR just doesn't care about it, or do you think they're just too lazy enough to do it? I mean, let me know what you think in the comments. So, I'm going to see if anybody else is going to come join. So, yes. Before we went to Martinsville, which brings us to our top story news, as I just got a knock on my door. Hold on. It's probably because they want me to eat, and I don't want to leave my recording software on. Ow. Ah, dang it. dang it. I'm going to get ready. Hold on a second, folks. I'll be back in a second.
I'm not going to press you about it today, but tomorrow I do. Yeah, sorry. That's all right. But tomorrow, yeah, we're going to all be together.
All right, made it home safely. All right, sorry about that. I am back. Yeah. Probably they didn't ask me about the if I want to sit down at the table or not. But anyway, I'm not going to discuss about that. As I was saying, going over the top story news. Prior to, I'm going to go over here, so nobody's going to join me for this. Prior to coming to the, let me go find the top story news. Prior to arriving at Martinsville, and I already documented this on last week, but Joey Gates was fined $5,000 for a safety violation. Gray Golding, part-time driver in the Xfinity Series, was indefinitely suspended by NASCAR after he was arrested for let me actually look. Gray Golding was indefinitely suspended by NASCAR after he was arrested. I'm going to look here. NASCAR officials issued an indefinite suspension to part-time driver Gray Golding. Mecklenburg County Sheriff's Office listed grading among its arrest records Tuesday. Golding was charged Tuesday morning after the Richmond race for misdemeanor domestic violence charges. Golding was released from custody that afternoon. So, yeah, his most recent start was in the Xfinity Series race at Daytona last year in the summer race. So, there you go. No other news and topics I have. You know, I feel bad for Golding, but you cannot do anything dumb as far as what I saw is concerned. But you know, I hope he learns his lesson and hopefully he will not do this again and all that yada yada yada. So as far as that as far as that is concerned. So yeah. Very light news week as far as I have to say for here this for this week, and yeah. Before we get into previewing Texas, I don't have anything on the NR report. It's time for the Mercy Orthopedics injury report. Found out today David Malukas has not been medically cleared to race in a couple of weeks at Long Beach. Let me see. I'm trying to do too many things at once. Hang on. But you know, I really, I do not have any status on when he's going to be coming back. Also, Simon Pagenaud has been out for a long time. Not sure if he will be back or not. We'll have to wait and see. And that's pretty much it. And of course, Maximilian Gunter just got put on the injury list after his injury on the podium from the last Formula E race. As I said, not sure if he'll be back for Monaco or not. That is the Mercy Orthopedics injury report. Slow down by an orthorized, a broken bone, or a sports injury. Count on Mercy to help restore your orthopedic life. Call Mercy Orthopedics today. Mercy and the PCS a wonderful partnership for more than a decade. Let me see here. Need to pull. No, I'm going the wrong way. Let's see here for as I'm thinking here. I don't know what I have. So yes, okay, got that done. Let's see here. I think that's about it. So we're gonna go ahead and preview Texas Motor Speedway. We got all three series in action. We got the Truck Series race coming up on Friday night at Texas Motor Speedway. So you can catch the SpeedyCash.com 250. That was not what I wanted, you darping hyena. I'm going to smack my phone in just a minute. Thank you. As I was saying, before my phone decided to start bad, you can catch the SpeedyCash.com 250 Friday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. By the way, reactions will start at 8:15 on FS1. You can listen on the Motor Racing Network and Sirius XM Radio. Had to ask Sean a question. So let's look at the entry list here. We got Kyle Busch in the 7. We don't know who'll be in the 20 car. Keith McGee is in the 22. Pretty much usual names. Johnny Sauter's in the 45 this week. Zane Smith is in the 91. Let's see here. Stephen Parsons back in the 75 this week. I'll need to ask Cody if he's too easy. Mason Massey. Chris Wright is in the 1 truck this week for Tricon Garage, which is a bra moment. All right, so yeah, that's pretty much about it. So I'm going to go ahead and reveal my picks for my for myself. Okay, I will just get these done for myself and out of the way. Yeah, hopefully I don't screw this up. So yeah. I will get my driver's predictions later. I'm going to have Kyle Busch as my favorite. Stay away from for the Truck Series. Chris Wright. Don't know how he's going to do in a truck that is not a Chevrolet. I don't know how he will do. I'm not confident he's going to do well. Zane Smith will be my dark horse. Tyler Ingram is my sleeper, and Stewie Friesen is my long shot. So that's the truck race. By the way, there are 34 drivers that are entered. That means all 34 will make the show. Either way, we got Saturday, the NASCAR Xfinity Series race. Make sure my freaking phone does not become a derping hyena. Which, by the way, will be the second race of the Dash for Cash. So you can catch the Andy's Frozen Custard 300 Saturday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time. 1:15 will be on the air Eastern Standard Time on Saturday. On FS1, it'll be on the Performance Racing Network. MRN, by the way, is the voice of NASCAR, and also the Sirius XM radio. So taking a look at the entry list, there are only 38 of them. There are no Cup drivers because this is the second of 4 races for the Dash for Cash. Let's see, some notables on here. We have Dawson Cram still in the 4. We have Garrett Smithley still in the 6. Justin Allgaier. We have Daniel Dye back this week in the 10. He was supposed to be in the car at Martinsville, but they switched him around to Texas, which makes a little bit more sense. Let's see, we have Taylor Gray in the 19 this week making his 3rd start. We have Corey Heim making his 4th start in the 26. We have, let's see, Dibby back this week in the 38. Scrolling down, Chad Fincham is in the 66 this week. David Starr's in the 114, and Patrick Emerling is in the 107 this week. So my picks for Xfinity, Jesse Love is my favorite. Stay away from Texas has not been super kind to this driver for obvious reasons. I'm sadly going to have to say Jeb Burton is my stay away from. I have Daniel Day as my dark horse. I think he goes well at Texas. He does well in trucks. Josh Williams is my sleeper, and long shot will be Riley Herbst. And then we go to the Cup Series race. That will happen on Sunday for all of our viewing channels. You can catch the Echo Park, the Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 400 at Texas Motor Speedway on Sunday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time on FS1. You can also listen to it on the Performance Racing Network, Sirius XM Radio. I'm not sure what channel it is on NASCAR. So taking a look at the entry list, there are 38 drivers. We have Ty Dillon this week in the 16 car for Colleague Racing. We have Austin Hill making his first start of the year in the 33 for Richard Childress Racing. Should mention Keith Rodden, who was part of Austin Dillon's crew chief, is no longer. He will be running part-time. Justin Alexander started taking over for the rest of the season beginning last week at Martinsville. I want to point that out for anybody that's curious. Jimmy Johnson's back in the 84, going to be running the Advent Health colors this week. And that's basically about it. So Chase Elliott's my favorite. Stay away from, for me, I'm going to go with Austin Hill. I do not know how he's going to do on a Cup race. Austin has been having one of those iffy days, so I don't see him doing well. Dark horse for me is Kyle Larson. Sleeper, Tyler Reddick, and Corey LaJoie is my long shot. So there is my picks. And of course, I will have my driver's picks later on in the later on this week as far as that is concerned. So yes. So that is pretty much it. As I'm now losing my train of thought what I'm trying to say here. So yeah. So so we've done the Mercy Orthopedics injury report. And we're going to start with final thoughts as far as that is concerned. And a lot of people are complaining about FS1's broadcast, which, let's be honest, FS1 really did nothing but become a bunch of clowns. You know, they didn't give the 35 no TV time after the issue. They instead gave 30 laps of nothing but a driver with a 4-second lead. Might as well have 10 car fields instead of 40, or in this case, 38. It's unacceptable at this point. I feel bad for Ogata, which this is a problem that really needs to be addressed. But knowing FS1 and NASCAR, and I'm about to start saying, this is the question that, you know, it's bringing up. Is it time for NASCAR and Fox to be dropped now before the new contract? As I'm going to take another bite of my dinner. Is it time to drop NASCAR on Fox? Yes. I don't know why they re-signed to join this next TV deal. I think they made a fatal mistake. And I feel bad for teams who really needed a chance to get some TV time and sponsorship, but I think FS1 just doesn't seem to care about it. You know, I'm glad the 35 got some TV time from us race fans, so you know, and I really hate it, but I think it's time for something like this to be addressed as far as that is concerned. So yeah. But you know, the FS1 team really did a poor job Didn't show a replay of Daniel died. Didn't even show the replay, or stopped showing the replay of the 98. I don't know why, of Riley Herbst getting hit head on by Brandon Jones, which good news is Riley Herbst was checked and released from the care center. So, and they didn't care about, all that because they want to get out of here and get to, drag racing, which I really think is going to be dumb, if you know what I mean. So, yeah. So, that's just my opinion about that. Let me know what y'all think in the comments section down below. And also, is it time for Austin Dillon to get the axe? Which I don't know. I don't know why they haven't done something about it, but we're just going to live with that. So, yeah. Final thoughts for today's episode of Triple P before I get out of here and join the VC with Sean. For me, Global Formula E, I'm really excited to see how this race will turn out at the what is it called? The Misano E Prix. As far as that is concerned, I'm really excited to see how they will do. As far as that's concerned, of course, it is named after Marco Simoncelli, who lost his life in Malaysia in 2011, which was a week after Dan Weldon's death at Las Vegas. I'm really excited to see how this track, this 2.101 mile road course, will do. I'm really excited to see how the racing will be. I'm really excited to see if we're going to have an interesting race. It's going to be one of those races I'm really looking forward to as far as that is concerned for myself. As for the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series, we don't know what to expect. As you know, a lot of us have given ideas, but I can tell you we're definitely in for what should be a very interesting race and should be an incredible event, nevertheless, here. And we can't wait to see what happens going into the upcoming events. So, should be an exciting event, and hopefully we'll see some good racing, as always, here in the Whelen Euro Series, which is our first time we get to talk about it. So that's pretty good, if you ask me. As for Texas, Texas should be a very interesting race. Don't know what to expect now. Now that they're no longer, I don't know if they're going to put resin to make the track have a lot more grip, but I think we're gonna have to see if last fall's race was any indication. I think we are going to be in for one heck of a ride this weekend here at Texas Motor Speedway. It should be a very exciting event so far, and hopefully it will be an exciting event in the Lone Star State. The last race in Texas this year. I can't believe I'm saying that so far, and we're not even 4 months in the year. We're already talking about the last race for Texas this season. So it's like, well, that's a surprise now, isn't it? So, yeah. So, before I sign off here and get out of here, I want to give everybody an update on my dad. I went up to Tulsa this past Friday, and unfortunately, things are not looking good. My dad now has 2 tumors instead of 1, and it's looking very unlikely that he's going to survive throughout the rest of this year. So, yeah, so it's talk about 4 years of this shit. After my stepmom died, due to the fact that due to COVID, and now my dad, who is about to pass away after finding 2 tumors in his brain. So it's not looking really good so far. But I appreciate you all doing the best you can to send prayers and sending me texts and asking me if I need anything and all that, yada, yada, yada. So I appreciate that as far as that's concerned. So, yeah. it's pretty much an honor. So yeah. So I just want to ask you all to keep sending prayers, keep praying for me, and I would appreciate that if you know what I mean. The Oklahoma Highway Safety Office is a proud sponsor of Triple P. Wants to remind all of our friends that drinking and driving is deadly and illegal. Um, Remember to let's end DUI together. Visit enduiok.com to learn more. And yeah, and it's time to get happy, people. It is time. It's time to get happy, people. Yep, time to get happy, people. Really get happy. So yes. So happy time. Uh, happy time, people. Happy birthday to. Let's see, Steve Tasker. Happy birthday to him. Um, Mike Stratton. Happy birthday to him. Happy birthday to the late John Madden, who had a birthday today, as far as that is concerned. So yes. NASCAR. Yep. As I got a message from Tyler, my friend Tyler, so yes. So hooray for hooray, hooray, as far as that is concerned. Happy anniversary. I'm going to look here. Also, happy birthday, Joe Gibbs Racing, and also to Daryl Waltrip. Oh, I needed the 10th. As, yeah. Actually, I need the 10th. That was what I didn't want. Let's see here. April 10th. That's what I want, since that's the channels. So, yeah. Happy anniversary, Ryan Newman. On this day, 14 years ago, the race I didn't get to see, stayed out and gambled and ended a 77 race winner's shot to win the race at Phoenix, which was and that was when Kyle Busch led the most laps but lost the race as far as that is concerned. Michael Waltrip won the Xfinity race at Nashville on this day in 2004. Bobby Hamilton won his first Craftsman Truck Series race on this day in 2000. Dale Earnhardt won the Food City 500 on this day in 1994. So pretty good to go. And it's really sad. Happy trails to an error of the PCS array. It was announced that the Busch Series will be saying farewell to NR 2003 at the end of the season, as we're dedicating this as the final season at PCS Array for the Busch Series, a series that began back in 2010. So there you go. So yeah. All right. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for this episode of Triple P. Want to thank you guys so much for joining me for today's episode. We'll look to have all the panelists back next week when we recap Talladega, our first international NASCAR event, and also the Misano E-Prix and all that yada yada yada. So yes, if you guys enjoyed this episode, be sure to give it a like. If you haven't considered subscribing yet, I highly recommend you do so. In order to keep up with some wonderful content coming out in the near future, as well as future episodes of your favorite podcast coming out throughout the rest of this week and onward to the next. On behalf of the PCS community, I'm Dean Evolos, aka PCS Blue Hedgehog 26. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time as you've been watching another broadcast of PCS TV, the best NO racing around the world since 2017. So long from Triple P, and we'll see you next week as we survive another podcast. We'll see you then. Sing the day, everybody.